Kenyan Fan TV. Today we have Hillary, Steve. How are you guys, man?
Good, good.
Yeah,
I'm
good
doing
amount of
good.
games you've been watching. We had some
Yeah.
good games today, man. Some shocking results. Of course, the Liverpool Everton game got abandoned, so we don't need to worry about that one. But they sat back and watched and see who's going to close the gap on them. And over the weekend, it just happened to be only one team. Considering
Mm.
what happened to City and Arsenal, Arsenal drawing 1-1 today, City drawing yesterday. And then today, Chelsea. Wow. Should we just kick off with that one, man? The North London derby between Tottenham and Chelsea. I mean, what does that say to you guys, man? I mean, let me go to you, Steve, on that. Chelsea are looking
Yeah.
impressive at the moment.
Yeah. Actually, an amazing performance from Chelsea because finally we're seeing the link up of the wings, Neto and Sancho, all in good health. You can see how effective they can be from the wings. And actually, if you want to be part of the conversation of the contenders of the Premier League this season, you have to play like Chelsea. You have to respond like Chelsea. You have to respond like Liverpool because we saw Liverpool respond to that last weekend, and we see it with Chelsea, who are down against a very able Tottenham, who can really disappoint you. We saw them disappoint Man City in a way that we couldn't expect it to happen. We thought the same thing was going to happen against
Mm.
Chelsea, but you see, when you see a Chelsea team that fights back from a two nil down. That comeback, penalty or not, goal that goals. Yeah, it's impressive. It shows that they got motive to win to be part of the conversation of the title contenders. Not really like being at the forefront of the race, but it shows you what they're really fighting for. So
Mm.
really, for me, I think it's very impressive from Chelsea. I gotta give them a thumbs up because coming down from an able Tottenham from a 2-0 down, even if it was so early in the game, that was very impressive. Another outstanding performance from Cole Palmer from the spot, very impressive. And I think it's good because Arsenal were able to, it's not the conversion, but were able to bridge the gap. But Chelsea did it because also Liverpool need that pressure. And the Chelsea, I think, are going to be the key part of that if we're not able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it. Hillary, how about you, man? Because Tottenham failed to deceive in the beginning. They thought they were going to go and blow it away like against City. But Chelsea, man, Chelsea held on there. They just sat there and they just turned the game on its head.
By 15 minutes, I had my memes ready. I was ready to get on the Chelsea fans page and, do my thing. But then Tottenham, I do not understand how the chances that Tottenham missed today were punished severely. And it makes me wonder because Son is a very clinical player, but the Son, since Harry Kane left, I feel like Son doesn't deserve to finish his career at Tottenham. That would be wasting talent. Like Son is just too good to finish in that team, and he's actually in his last season, right? This is his last season
Yeah,
in.
maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think they're having contract talks right now. I know Son's in his last season at Tottenham. Maybe he can consider Liverpool with the Salah situation. I don't know if Liverpool will go for a player like him or would want to go for a younger player, but him and Chiesa might try and cover for Salah in case something doesn't work out for Salah. But Chelsea, good performance from Chelsea. Even after having the two errors early in the game, they show that, we can actually come back from this and give a good performance. And that second half was just, it was a good performance from Chelsea. I like how Maresca has made the team tick. If he finishes second this season, I don't want to hear anything from Arsenal fans that finishing second in the Premier League is an achievement.
You mean from Chelsea fans or Arsenal fans?
I don't want to hear anything from Arsenal fans that finishing second is an achievement. If Maresca can do it in his first season at Chelsea,
No. Of course, that would be impressive, man. No one here is going to be complaining about that. I think if the
mm,
Chelsea, if the league is finished looking like this end of the season, that's props to the two new managers in the season. They've come
yeah,
into to those respective big clubs and did that. Your sound, man, Steve. You muted.
Sorry, I think there's one thing that Hillary really is forgetting. Before you tell someone that you've achieved something, you have to see where were you before. That is the part of improvement. Because you see, for us, before we came to position two, we were not even in the Champions League conversation. And I'm not
Mm.
I'm not here to bring the Arsenal conversation.
Steve,
Speaking
Steve,
back to the
Steve,
Chelsea
Steve,
conversation is, yeah,
Steve,
if
we
they
don't
finish
care.
second this season, yeah, if they finish second this season, that would be an improvement from Chelsea because
Steve,
they were with the Manchester United
we
struggling down
don't
there.
care.
Now Manchester
We
United are
do
back
not
there.
care.
Now he wants to say they don't care, but that's a big
We do
improvement
not
from
care.
Chelsea. Yeah,
Slot's first season, Maresca's first season. If they outdo Arteta, I do not ever bring in Arteta as an elite manager.
he is an elite
Never
manager. That
again.
I will stand by
No,
any
he
day,
is
anytime.
That's gonna
not.
be debatable,
He has
man.
not done
Yeah,
anything to contribute to football.
an amazing
Well,
coach,
talk about that.
Mikel
Okay,
Arteta.
then.
His
I
first
mean, all right,
season,
then. Let's
his
let's
first
move on. Let's move
team
on to
as
that
a
one
as a
then.
main coach, that's an achievement, bro.
All right,
Take
then.
it to the
Okay.
bank any day.
Wait. You guys have
First
done
team
the
as a
transition. Wait,
manager.
you done the transition for me. Well, let's go over to that one. I mean, you got well, we know Chelsea now. They're 4 points behind these guys, Liverpool. Arsenal had a good opportunity today. Well, of course, another London derby, Fulham. Another tough away game. Fulham took the early lead with Jimenez, but then Arsenal did what Hillary likes, man. The corner again.
Mhm.
They came with that
See, I
set.
was telling Steve, I
Huh?
was telling Steve earlier on today, during the previous show, I said that this season, set pieces have been the biggest factor for Arsenal. And if
Mm.
it wasn't for set pieces, Arsenal would be way below where they are right now. Most of the biggest games, most of the biggest points they've earned this season are because of set pieces. And that is credit to your set piece coach.
Yeah.
That means that Arteta needs to look at his squad because during the entire first half, Arsenal only had one shot against Fulham.
Mm.
That was during the entire first half, right? And this time, Odegaard is back in the squad. You have a good attack. But then, second half, you come in, you get your set piece and all that. But then, if you're starting to rely on set piece as your main threat, then you need to analyze your squad very well and you need to analyze your attacking options. We're not saying that set piece is not important, but it should not be it should not be the main thing that is giving you points this season if you want to contend for the title. I think that was the difference today between Chelsea and Arsenal, right? Because Chelsea were able to score from open play and they're able to score from penalty. Arsenal were only able to score from how do you call it? The set piece, the corner kick, and that was the difference between the two of them.
Yeah,
If
but
Arsenal,
I also think it's kind of showing. I mean, you have a point from before, with Arteta. I think it's just kind of showing up. He's just lack of, forward play tactics when you look at it with the teams. I mean, even in transition or even try to break down a defense, there's not really any kind of idea from his side.
but I saw if you saw Solanke's first goal, it shows how Arsenal really need the number nine
Yeah, exactly.
because of that movement in the box. It's not something that, like today, Havertz was not in the game at
Don't say today.
all.
Don't say today. I always say that whenever we have Havertz in the field, we have just an extra man in the field, and that is why any time, as much as people criticize Gabriel Jesus, yes, I agree the fact that he's been out of many games because of injury and bad luck of scoring. But let me tell you one thing: we need such a player. If we don't have a striker, we need a player like Jesus, someone who can disrupt defenders, someone who pulls the defenders, someone who can disrupt that middle attack because you see guys really every time we see that we're playing any team they're always onto the wings that we have, that is Bukayo Saka. At times they even do the double teaming, but if you have someone like Gabriel Jesus in a team that has a Gabriel Jesus who's a threat to defenders, Martinelli and Saka, you make the defenders not to it's hard for them to double up on the
Mm.
wingers because you see we have Havertz, and I will keep on repeating this statement. Headless
But isn't
chicken
that the
running up
manager's
and
fault? I
down,
mean,
running up and
the
down.
manager's just sticking to habits. I mean, you can see.
Yeah, I just don't get it because you see, that's one thing I've never understood completely. Because We really need someone who disrupt the defense all the way because you just observe every time Saka has the ball, there's double teaming. They're always double teaming in his on his wing. The same thing that happens to Martinelli. We need somebody else extra to make the defenders to be afraid of who is it
Yeah.
gonna go to next. As much as he can score the goals, I know he'll make the opposition the opposite defenders vulnerable, and that is a thing we're missing so much. Maybe I hope something
It's no,
happens
there's no,
in
you don't have.
January.
It's not just about number nine. You need someone that has pace as well that can take
Yeah,
those balls from behind the players.
But you see, even
That
today,
will stretch them
I'd
out.
like to disagree.
You see Chelsea with Nicholas Jackson. You see Tottenham with Solanke. You see even Liverpool. They have options between Diaz and what's his name, Nunes. You got Man City. You got Haaland. You know Newcastle. You got Isak. Man United. You got Rashford, and these man's like players that you can just see the defenders have to think they can't play too much of a high line. They got to be careful.
exactly.
Yeah,
We
that's
see,
why I'd like to
you remember
disagree
the
with
Isak
the with
goal,
Steve's point
the Isak goal that was scored last, I think against Chelsea,
against Liverpool. Against Liverpool.
Liverpool. Damn, that's the kind of people you need. People who are that lethal. Those are the kind of strikers you need. Those are the kind of people. I don't think Havertz can pull such a thing. And I'm not
No,
saying
no,
But
that.
no. We know
also
he can't. No, he
Jesus,
can't. Hillary, what are you
but
saying?
also Jesus
What Hillary
can.
saying?
Yeah, Jesus. I'd like to disagree with that point because Jesus and Havertz almost play the same way. Just that Jesus is more aggressive and likes to drop in deep.
Mm.
You don't need that. You need someone to get into the box. That is what you guys are missing.
Yeah,
Someone who can
exactly.
play in the box, not Jesus, not Havertz. I Arsenal were really criticizing what's his name, Nketiah, Edin Nketiah. But Edin Nketiah had a better conversion rate than your Havertz and your Jesus with less minutes. And you see, you moved away from Edin Nketiah to, and you didn't bring in someone who can be in the box. You're saying there's no striker. Look at what even Brentford did with when even Tony left. They brought in Wissa, who says playing as a nice number nine, but nobody will talk about him because he plays for Brentford. And then you'll go outside and look for a number nine in, let's say, Italy or Portugal,
Mm.
when you have Wissa in the people overlooking Solanke just because he was at Bournemouth. Look at him at Spurs right now. If Solanke was in Arsenal right now, how many goals do you think he would have?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's again, it's like you said, it's just bad selection, bad choice of players in the transfer window in terms of what was needed. I mean, everyone knew from last season what position Arsenal were lacking in, what they needed. They needed that number
Yeah,
nine with pace that runs behind the defenders, and they
and
don't
I
have
think
that.
I'll be getting to the redundant Wenger time when we used to do everything right, then miss something. Like you see, we could
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
do
yeah.
signings in the we could do signings on the midfield, forget the defense. And I think Arsenal are getting that spot whereby each season we're becoming redundant. We always have that one team that is going to that one team or that one mistake that is always going to be a hit for us to uh to achieve what we want, and that is the title. It is always something in every season, and that is something that I don't know if the Arsenal fraternity is looking at or Arteta, because you can't have always there's something in each season. A team poor mistakes like I remember last season, we had Aston Villa taking all the points from us, and actually even part of Fulham because remember they beat us
Mm.
uh, last year almost the same time. Then we had the Aston Villa effect. You see, we go back to this season. We've had the red cards in the beginning of the matches and injuries that he cannot because he doesn't do player rotation. He doesn't have people who have that chemistry. Go to the other previous season when he was number two. See, again, same mistakes being taking losing points to teams that you're not supposed to lose points to. Because when you see Chelsea getting points from teams like Tottenham, then expect them to get more points from the small teams, and that's how they're just gonna get it. Because Liverpool only lost to not and now see they came back. That's the
Chelsea,
speed we're showing.
I think Chelsea
Because
have a way of playing now. Chelsea are going to be like, you score goals, we'll score more than you. That's how Chelsea. I don't think are sitting back, which is what I like about them. But okay, let's move on anyway. That was the depression of Arsenal. But Hillary, you know where we're going now.
Now let me bring it in. Let me bring it in for
Yeah.
you. So The silver lining, looking at it in hindsight for Man United is,
Yes.
in Kenya, how when you have lights off in your house and you open your door to check whether your neighbors also have lights out.
Yeah.
So that was my day when Arsenal drew, because now the silver lining is for Arsenal to compete with Liverpool, you only have 2 games till the end of the season for you to lose. If you lose more than 2 games, that's it. Your title contention is off. It's done.
Oh, you got some high hopes of Arsenal. I was already gone from that. I thought that time was already gone. There's no even
Like,
Arsenal
And,
not
and
I
there
out.
is
just
one.
need.
Don't forget, there is one constant catalyst. Don't only talk about Arsenal. And the only constant thing, as much as you say we only have 2 games, they also have to continue winning the way they are winning. That's the constant
It's
factor.
okay. It's okay. But just
Uh,
remember,
That's,
two
that's the
no,
games.
they just
constant in
perform, and
that.
they're better placed. Chelsea's a better place to
Yeah,
compete with them. But
in
go
that
on, but go on, go
reaction.
on, Hillary. Let's bring
Two
slowly bring Man
games.
United
Uh,
in.
now
Anyway,
bringing
just go
in
back to
Man
Man
United.
United, man.
Yeah.
Bringing in Man United when Ten Hag was sacked, it looked like finally some light at the end of a dark tunnel, only to find that someone had lit a blunt and we were chasing a high, and
It's the hope
and
that
so
killed
now
you. It's the hope that will kill you.
exactly,
Get it from an Arsenal fan. It's the hope that
No,
will
I
kill
don't
you.
think. Look. I think people are looking at it wrong.
bro,
People,
bro,
people
and
are
it
looking at
wasn't it
Amarim.
wasn't the structure. It
No.
wasn't the structure that messed us up yesterday.
Mm-mm.
It was Onana's first game that really messed us. If you look at the first 2 goals, Onana didn't command the box during the corner kick. It's something he could have come and collected or punched. The second goal was a simple goal that he could have just held the ball. And then the third goal was, Lisandro and Onana just assuming the ball would go outside. It wasn't as if it was some big deal, but then, the
Mm.
small errors, the small margins, because the structure was perfect. And now, when you're going towards attack, you can see that defensively the shape is, forming up nicely. But then when we're going to attack, crosses coming in, but then nobody is trying to get towards the end of those crosses. You can see there was a ball that came in. Bruno is trying to tell Hoyland, you need to be inside the 6 yard box, but then he's outside the 6 yard box. Not that the structure is not perfect. Amorim actually has a good structure, the way he's, come in and taught us how to hold the ball nicely and all that. So it's just those small mistakes that Onana made that cost us again another 3 points and a clean sheet. And
Boy,
now you
three
find that
points
again.
and a clean sheet. Boy, these guys, Nottingham were running you riot, man. I don't know
I
where you're
know.
getting that
I, I,
clean sheet
I think
idea.
Abby, there's one thing we're forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing I've learned about football since I started supporting Arsenal or watching most of the games, be it in
Mm.
the Premier League or the Liga or Serie A, you see that table that has 20 teams. Yeah, that table never lies of the quality of the team you are and the level at which you're playing. That's one thing that is always constant. That table, be it your number 5, number 10, number 20, it's just a it's just a report card. It's a reflection of how you're playing at that moment in that
Hmm.
season. It never
And
lies.
that's
Be leave alone the drama and the controversies in the field. That is part of football, and that is what makes football be what it is.
But
But when you
do you
see
think Man United have got the right manager?
Man
I think it's a
United.
matter of time. It's too early. It's too early to tell, yeah, because you see, getting a team, not midway, but at least a team that has already kickstarted the season, and it's shaky. It's too early to tell,
Is
yeah.
they're more than
So
shaky. They've been, I mean,
yeah,
a lot of the personnel in that team are just not good enough for Man United. And I don't
yeah,
And
think
now we have we
Amarim is not
have
going to make miracles.
yeah.
and now
Not
we
enough
have
because
cases even off the pitch.
they
If you
have a
look at
lot. They have a lot to. They have a long way to go, and it will take really a hardworking manager and also team spirit to have a positive mind. Because I don't think this is where the fans get a say.
No,
The
no, no.
fans, they
I
can
actually think,
always
look,
make noise.
I'm gonna say it out there. I think Amarim's a good manager. Just what I've
Yeah,
seen Man United look like in the last few games was enough to impress me. The only thing is when you can just see when you watch Man United, just there's a lot of players on that team just not ready to that standard. You know what I mean? They're just not. He can just see that and be like, yeah, looks at them one by one. He needs to go. He needs to go. He needs to go. Do you understand? Because you can't play that kind of way of football and not go through. I mean, that's how I like to see. That's how I was hoping Arsenal will be playing. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. And I
that's
think
how
Abdi,
like.
that is why I was bringing the issue of the table because I want to drive this point in. Yeah, when you see yourself in a particular position in the league, yeah, you're supposed to analyze and see what am I not doing or what am I doing wrong that is making me to be in this position. That is where you start from because I think that is the mistakes you're supposed to recover from. Because if the team is okay, the manager should now start analyzing how do I get Manchester United maybe back to the Champions League discussion or rather the top four discussion or rather where were they and where what am I expected to do? Because I believe the way you said, I believe is a good coach. You could see and I think I made this comment after the first game. You can see the body language from players. You can see the changes that he's doing
Hmm.
and I think he has something cooking, and I think it's a matter of him identifying really what has really made messed up Manchester United for a very long time. And with time, I think he's going to do well. But at the moment, I think the thing that is the only downside I have for Manchester United, from my point of view, please don't take out guns and shoot me. Let me tell you one thing. I think the teams in the Premier League right now don't look at Manchester the same way they used to see Manchester 3, 4 seasons ago. Right now, the small teams are like, we can if this is the Manchester that is playing right now with all the drama that is going on, we can go and do anything. Teams are out there for blood against Manchester United because they've always disciplined this
But
team.
let me
So
but let me say this. But you know, one thing about it is it's going to be frustrating for Man United fans because at the same time, you know, the board, the owners will be telling the manager, okay, look, we need to offload players, but we're not going to get good value for them if they're going to be on the bench. You know,
But you
so
see,
yeah.
that's the thing right now we're facing is we're
yeah,
having you fix one problem, another problem comes in. Like right
yeah.
now, you wake up to Dan Ashworth news, you wake up to Ten Hag news, you wake up to just weird, just weird information that just brings the momentum in the whole club
Mm,
down. Because right now you see the media is trying to use everything against United. So now when I'm sure Amorim's next press conference will be like, what's the story with Dan Ashworth? Instead of, talking about tactics and the players. Unfortunately, that's the case for United. Now we see that we've spent um, if you saw when we sacked Ten Hag, of course we had to compensate him. Now that we've sacked Dan Ashworth, we have to compensate him. The amount of money we used to bring in Ashworth, to bring in Amorim and his coaching staff midway through the season, this money could have been used to back the manager in the transfer window if we had done things properly. I remember when Liverpool lost Klopp and the entire board, people were like, "You've lost a manager, and to make matters worse, you've also lost the board." By the way they were able to do their business, they brought in the right board of directors and they brought in the right manager. They weren't able to do the best business in the transfer window, but they were able to manage what they have.
mm.
United can't seem to do any of those things correctly, and all these pieces put together are really affecting us, whether it's on the pitch or outside the pitch. We just can't seem to have anything in control right now, which is what is affecting the players, and not only the players but the fan base as well.
Wow. I mean, it's going to be a rough ride with him, man, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. For a manager, he's
Mm,
come like the worst kind of time to come to a club,
Mhm.
yep.
and especially somewhere like Man United. Because if it was like any other team, if it was like Tottenham or even like it's not like you come into like Aston Villa or something where they will really mind. But the problem is Man United. At the same time, you're given leeway, but at the same time, secretly, they expect you to like try and get top four. Because they're Man United. They're not like, they're not Everton or something expecting to be around those areas and be like, yeah, no, they're still gonna have the conditions based on him. But cool, but then yeah, let's end it in that one. City,
Mm.
again, another shaky one for them. Um, just quickly on that one, they don't they already seem to be a bit of an issue as well. That was a bad draw for them, but at least they had a decent performance. I don't know if you guys catch that game,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
hmm,
So it was a better one. I think maybe now that the players are starting to play without the mentality of Rodri, I think they're now into the sense that we are not with we're not with a Ballon d'Or winner. He's out of the game. So
Mm,
we have to work with what we have. And I think I think that is one thing that Pep is doing right now. He's trying to fix that team to play with what he has. And I think if he does it on time in the next two or the next game or the next two games, I think he can still contend for the top four team. Because right now, as we speak, I can just give Liverpool the 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 forefront. It's this one is gone out of Man City. I don't think it's a miracle for Man City to catch up. It's another miracle for Arsenal to catch up. Now it's a smaller miracle for Chelsea to bridge the gap. So I will just put it in that distance. They're not doing bad, but
yeah,
they should, if the mentality they have been playing for the past two games, I think they can still be part of the top four discussion so far.
yeah. No, no, I agree in that area, man. But this is just we up and go again. At least we don't have
Yeah.
international break stopping, giving us
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
pause. We're gonna be hitting straight into it coming up the next few games, especially the holiday. The holiday season is gonna be fast and hitting. So I know everyone's gonna be doing the Christmas periods on holiday. So we gotta find when we're gonna be able to discuss any painful if anyone's had a bad Christmas
But
or
City,
bad New Year's. Yeah.
just, just to bring it back to City a bit, when City got the red kid, it felt like Crystal Palace had the red kid because the way City was attacking after the red kid.
Mm,
We've seen many teams getting a red kid and playing very defensive, especially the last few minutes just to secure that point. But City still went out all attacking. So there's still a threat. There's still a force to be reckoned with. Just that they're going through a tough period. But you could feel that people still fear City in as much as they're going through that rough patch. But
Mhm.
people still are wary. You still can't go to City right now and say, nah, they're going through a bad. It's not like going against United right now where you think you can get a point. With City, you still have to proceed with a bit of caution
yeah, yeah,
because they
yeah,
can still catch you off guard.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And
that's true.
just
And
to
I think
speak on.
That is the Pep game. I think it was
Mhm.
also with Klopp. I think I used to see with Klopp. Pep is a guy who likes goals. And I think that is one thing I like about that guy. That's why you see City scoring people a number of goals. They can concede two or three, but you'll see them
Yeah, they don't
raining
care.
on new goals. He doesn't care.
They're
And
gonna
I think that
purpose
is
for you.
what, yeah. And you see, after we've had that mistake with Arteta this season, like he's scoring a goal, then it's like you almost feel like he's gonna park the bus because actually, if I'm not going way too far out of the topic, I think I forgot to mention this. If you cannot watch the Manchester United first half and the second half, and also related to today's game against Fulham, you can feel there is a sense of either the team or Arteta's tactics of holding back more in the first half. And I think Hillary spoke about the issue of having shots on goal in the first half. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
there is something slow about the way we playing lately. Unlike the way we played in West Ham, and you see goals were coming. Then you see the next two games, we have Manchester United and then Fulham. Today, I felt the same way because we started now attacking uh, Fulham in the second half, the same thing we did in Manchester United. And I think if that is what he's planning to do in this remaining games, then I think he's going for failure
He
because
has more players getting into the box
yeah,
this
we're
season,
gonna be
regardless,
relying
isn't
for
he?
the set pieces that Hillary is talking about. I think that's what I forgot to mention because I think I realized that thing in the two games we played. Yeah,
No
sorry.
problem, man. I mean, that's just how we have to end it then. Arsenal
Yeah,
need to go back and just keep perfecting that set pieces, I guess, since they're surviving on that. And
yeah.
I guess Man United, they just need to keep doing what they're doing, but the personnel will reach there. For Chelsea, wow, they just keep on going, man. Impressive from the team over there against Tottenham today. And Liverpool, Everton, well, there's a stadium for them. We'll wait and see when they can get their games rescheduled and everything. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your
Right.
time, man. Always a pleasure. Steve, Hillary.
Cool.
Cheers, guys.